Many people over the age of 60 believe that if they want to protect their kidneys, they should completely avoid foods like rice, vermicelli, faux noodles, or rice noodle dishes. But the truth might surprise you. Some types of rice noodles are actually very gentle on the kidneys and can help the body remove waste more efficiently. At the same time, other types can spike blood sugar and make your kidneys work much harder. Here's the interesting part. Two bowls of noodles can look almost exactly the same, but one bowl may help your body feel lighter and more balanced, while the other quietly puts extra pressure on your kidneys. So in today's video, we're going to explore four of the best rice noodles for kidney health, especially helpful for those of us over 60. When people think about kidney health, many immediately think about medications or very strict diets. But the truth is sometimes the small choices we make in our daily meals can make a big difference over time. You see, our kidneys are organs that almost never stop working. 24 hours a day, they quietly filter these blood, remove waste, balance minerals in the body, and help get rid of extra fluid. Because of this process, our bodies are able to stay stable and healthy. However, once we move past the age of 60, the kidney's filtering ability usually isn't quite as strong as it used to be. That means foods that are high in salt, phosphorus, potassium, or heavy fats can make the kidneys work harder to keep everything in balance. And that's exactly why everyday foods like rice, vermicelli, faux noodles, and other rice noodles are worth paying a little more attention to. The good news is you don't have to give up the foods you love. By simply choosing the right types of rice noodles and preparing them in a lighter way, we can still enjoy a comforting meal while helping our kidneys work a little easier for many years to come. The first type we want to share today is rice stick noodles. Many of you may have already tried them in the popular dish pad thai. Here in the United States, these noodles are actually quite easy to find. You can usually spot them at places like Walmart, Costco, Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, or in Asian grocery stores, which makes them a convenient option for many families. One thing that's worth noting is how simple these noodles are. Most of the time, they're made from just rice flour and water. That simplicity can be a good thing. Because they're made from rice rather than wheat, they're often easier to digest for many people. And when our digestive system works more smoothly, the body tends to produce less waste. That means our kidneys may have a little less work to do. Rice stick noodles are also naturally low in fat, and they usually don't contain the added phosphorus ingredients that sometimes appear in highly processed noodles. That can help prevent an excess minerals from building up in the body. But what really makes the biggest difference is how the noodles are prepared. In many restaurants, dishes made with these noodles are stir-fried with a lot of oil, soy sauce, or salty sauces. Those ingredients can significantly increase sodium levels, which may place extra strain on the kidneys. So if we want to make this dish gentler on the body, we can prepare it in a lighter way, perhaps with a mild broth, a handful of vegetables like cabbage, carrots, or bean sprouts, and a lean protein such as chicken, shrimp, or fish. Sometimes small changes like these can make a big difference for our long-term health. 2. Rice flat noodles. The second type we want to talk about today is rice flat noodles. These noodles are quite common in many Asian meals, but interestingly, they're often overlooked when people talk about foods that may be easier on the kidneys. In reality, rice flat noodles have several qualities worth noticing. They're typically low in potassium, very low in fat, and fairly easy to digest. When digestion runs smoothly, the body produces less metabolic waste. And when there's less waste to process, the kidneys may not have to work as hard to keep things balanced. These noodles also provide a gentle source of carbohydrate energy. When eaten in reasonable portions, they can help maintain steady energy without leaving us feeling overly heavy after a meal. Of course, the key still comes down to how we prepare the dish. When cooking rice flat noodles, it's best to cook them just until tender rather than overcooking them. A simple bowl with a light broth, A small portion of fish, chicken, shrimp, or lean pork along with fresh vegetables like lettuce, bean sprouts, carrots, or cucumber can become a very balanced meal. Something many people don't realize is that a healthy digestive system can also support kidney health. When we eat enough fiber from vegetables, some waste leaves the body through the digestive system instead of all of it being processed by the kidneys. Over time, small habits like this can help the body feel lighter and more balanced. And if you're still watching and finding this helpful, try leaving the number one in the comments so we know you're still here with us. Now let's move on to the next type of noodle. The third type we want to talk about is faux rice noodles. This is a very familiar dish for many people, and chances are many of you have enjoyed a warm bowl of pho on a cold day, or when you just needed something light and comforting. What's interesting about faux noodles is how simple they are. Most of the time, they're made from just rice flour and water. That simplicity actually makes them easier on the digestive system and often gentler on the kidneys compared with many highly processed noodles. Another thing worth mentioning is that faux noodles usually don't contain a lot of added phosphorus, which can sometimes appear in packaged or heavily processed foods. Over time, too much phosphorus in the body can add extra pressure on the kidneys, so simpler foods like this can be a helpful choice. Pho also has another small but important advantage. It's typically served with warm broth, which helps provide hydration. When the body stays well hydrated, the kidneys are able to filter and remove waste more effectively. However, there's one common mistake many people make, and that's broth that's too salty. Too much sodium can raise blood pressure and force the kidneys to work harder. A lighter bowl of pho might include a clear, mild broth with less salt, a small portion of lean beef chicken or fish, and fresh herbs like cilantro, basil, or green onions. These herbs add plenty of flavor without needing extra salt. And if you're eating pho at a restaurant, a simple tip to reduce sodium is to ask for less salt or add a little hot water to the broth. Small habits like this, when done regularly, can help the kidneys work more comfortably for years to come. Now we come to the final noodle on today's list, white rice vermicelli. And interestingly, this might be the option that surprises many people the most. For years, we've often heard that whole grains are always the healthiest choice, and in many situations that's true. But when it comes to kidney health, the picture can sometimes be a little different. White rice vermicelli has one important advantage. It's typically lower in potassium and phosphorus than many other foods. When these minerals build up in the body over time, they can make the kidneys work harder to keep the blood balanced. Another benefit is that rice vermicelli is usually very easy to digest. When food is digested smoothly, the body produces less waste. And when there's less waste to filter, the kidneys don't have to work as hard. You can think of the kidneys like a household water filter. When there's less buildup to process, the system tends to run more smoothly and last longer. Of course, the biggest difference still comes down to how the meal is prepared. A simple bowl of vermicelli can be quite gentle on the body if the noodles are boiled in clean water, lightly rinsed afterward to remove excess starch, and served with a mild, low-sodium broth. Adding lean protein like fish, skinless chicken, shrimp, or tofu, along with vegetables such as cabbage, carrots, zucchini, or bean sprouts, can turn it into a very balanced meal. But there's also a mistake many people make. Because rice vermicelli seems simple, we sometimes assume it's healthy no matter how it's served. In reality, the strain on the kidneys often comes not from the noodles themselves, but from what's added to them. Things like salty broth, soy sauce, or packaged seasoning mixes. In fact, just one bowl of very salty broth can sometimes contain almost the entire recommended sodium intake for the day. That's why the real key isn't just what we eat, but how we season and prepare our meals. Small changes in the kitchen can make a big difference for our long-term health. When we look back at the rice noodles we talked about today, one important idea becomes clear. Protecting kidney health doesn't mean following an extreme diet. Often, small changes in our everyday meals can create meaningful benefits over time. By choosing simpler foods, eating reasonable portions, reducing excess salt, and balancing protein with vegetables, the body can feel lighter and more comfortable. Three rice noodle options that may be gentler choices include white rice vermicelli, which is light and easy to digest, faux noodles, which provide a warm and hydrating meal, and rice flat noodles, which offer gentle energy without feeling heavy. When small habits like these are practiced consistently, they may help the kidneys continue working more smoothly for years to come. If you'd like to keep learning simple ways to support your health after 60, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos. And before you go, we're curious, which do you eat more often, vermicelli, pho, or rice flat noodles? Feel free to share in the comments below.